What's going on, everyone? Nick Gambaro here. Stefan Martinez. A lot on the docket tonight. We've actually got NFL football on during the show, which is weird. Normally never happens, but we got the Bills-Chiefs going on right now. That game's on at halftime. We got also later on Cardinals-Cowboys. We had yesterday a lot of blowouts in football. We're going to discuss that. We're also going to get into a crazy Game 7 in the NLCS. Last night, the Dodgers are going to the World Series. Braves out. Just a lot going on. But we got to start with hockey. And for those of you that know me, I'm a huge psychotic hockey fan. I love it. I love my Islanders, but I also love the sport and love watching it. And a great, one of the greats, the GOAT, in my opinion, of hockey announcers retired today. The great Mike Doc Emrick retired after 47 seasons calling pro hockey, 45 Game 7s he called, 22 Stanley Cup Finals, 14 NHL All-Star games, 6 Olympic Games, also combined 19 Winter Classics and Stadium Series games. So 19 outdoor games in total. The guy was a true professional. Him being the GOAT and the greatest, somebody said today he never acted like it. He was always humble. He always, remembered where he came from and just, respected all of his colleagues, was a mentor to all of them, and just was a great human being as well. Did many great things and just was a sweetheart of a person. He really was. And you could just tell calling the games, and he would say sometimes, how much fun is this? How lucky are we to do this, to call hockey games? And this is, what a wild game. Isn't this fun, Eddie-O? Or, because that's, of course, was his partner for years.
Real quick to the 4 people that were watching, or 3 people that are watching, come on in, man. Say hello.
Yes.
Say hello.
And I guess it's emotional for me for being such a huge hockey fan. And this got Doc, I would text Stefan Doc's doing the game tonight. I can't wait to watch. Just to hear that voice, just to hear the different verbiages and the words that he would use and throw out there, over hundreds of them. Some of them waffle. I called them Doc-isms. So waffle board, soccered it, squibbed, knifed away. I could go on because the list is endless. But, his iconic score when he would yell whenever a goal was scored. Off the pipe was another famous call. Or denied. And, but he would, scream it. But it wasn't that over because sometimes you're all right, that's, too much. But no. Doc's level of excitement was that right amount, and it was – oh, my God. Awesome. Just awesome. And lucky enough being a hockey fan to hear him for all these years. But it's well-deserved. It's a sad day, but it's also very well-deserved. And I'm happy for Doc. Hey, Kathy. He was.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I know for you, we called a lot of the Ranger games on their most recent playoff runs a few years ago. And for me, the Islanders, he hasn't called a lot, but some of them he did. And one actually, believe it or not, I actually had no clue that he was a part of the call, if you could believe that. He called the Easter Epic back in 1987, the famous multi-overtime goal scored by Pat LaFontaine. He actually called that for ESPN. Jiggs McDonald, the famous Islanders announcer, called it, for local TV. But yeah, Doc was on the Easter Epic call. The Eberle double overtime goal this year in the bubble, the game where Varlamov slid and that was an awesome moment. And then one where John Tavares scored back in the first round in the 2015 Stanley Cup playoffs. I will kid you not. After he scored this goal, and it's only game 3, so it's still the beginning of the series, but I had my TV on one of the most highest volume I could put it on because they're at Nassau Coliseum. I didn't get to go that day to the game, but I wanted to feel like I was there and just have Doc call it. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Oh my God. First of all, it happened 15 seconds into the first overtime. So 15 seconds, the game was over. It just happened that quick. But when he goes, Tavares, score! Crazy. And I'm running around my room like a crazy person. I open my window, neighbors are outside, a few of that. I'm screaming, Tavares scores, the Islanders win! Oh my God! And screaming at the top of my lungs. And then, I go outside after to do whatever, and my dad sees me because he was working outside. He's like, are you nuts? What is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm a diehard fan. Leave me alone. It's the playoffs. It was a massive goal. Oh, my God. It was insane. I would have did that if I was alive for the Easter epic. I mean, come on. Just absolutely insane. The Eberle goal, too, I was going nuts. And Stefan, I would text him, oh, I'm so excited. Doc's calling it. Doc's calling tonight again. And then, it stinks, though, that the Islanders couldn't make it to the finals this year because then Doc could have called it, but it is what it is. And, I mean, I was trying to come up with, just top 5 calls, too, but I'm like, it's really hard.
There's so many different ones. There's so many, and it's indelible moments he's left. It's look, we love sports because we like the athletic competition, but something should be said for the people that are telling the story and the soundtrack to some of these indelible moments that we'll remember for the rest of our lives. Like Doc Emrick, I still remember where I was the night the Rangers lost to the Devils. When he called the goal.
That was one of the most famous ones.
This is when I was a psycho Ranger fan. And I'm sitting there and I'm like. But I couldn't get mad because his call was so good.
And I remember that word for word. That whole call. But that too happened first couple minutes into OT, Henry gets over. God, you would have thought I was a Devil fan that night the way I was celebrating. It was crazy. But even when your team wasn't playing or a team you hated or was rooting against, we're still enthralled in it. I mean, go ahead.
The only thing I would say is he made you feel like you were a part of the broadcast.
Yes.
Which the best announcers make you feel that way. They make you feel as though you are a part of everything that they're doing. From the way they're calling the game to the stories that they tell to the way that they go about their business. They want to make you feel like you're a part of them. And it's so refreshing to hear a guy like Joe Davis, who just called that game yesterday between the Dodgers and Braves. That guy's going to be a great broadcaster. When Joe Buck decides to hang it up and go do what he's going to do next, Joe Davis, you got the world's in good hands with Joe Davis calling playoff games. That guy's amazing. And I just hope that somebody fills the void. I hope that there's somebody there that's a hockey announcer that's young enough to fill the void. And I'm going to say this, and you're going to get a kick out of it, but I think the next guy I'm looking at to call Cup games in the future is Brendan Burke. There's something about Brendan Burke, the way he calls a game, that, listen, I don't know much about the sport of hockey, but I know enough. That guy in a big game, he's special. He's special. It makes you feel like you're a part of the game, and I'm going to say this, his voice is not too overbearing. It's not like I got to hear a guy that you're like, oh, can you get this over with? Can you get this game over? It's not like that. And Doc wasn't like that. And there was a you know what? There was a sweetness about Doc. There was a
Yeah,
genuine
like
love.
Vince.
Of,
He was the Vince Scully
yeah,
of hockey, right? I mean,
I would almost say this. It's like Vince Scully, uh, Doc Emmerich, and Jim Ross are the three biggest broadcasters for you wrestling fans. There's nothing like a Jim Ross call. Still to this day, when you hear a Jim Ross call on AEW and it's a big moment, sometimes you just lay out and you just watch and you just hear him call big matches. You know you're watching a big wrestling event because Jim Ross always called big matches, and it always felt like, wow, JR's calling this match. It's big. JR's calling this main event. It's big. Doc is calling the Cup final. This is big. Joe Buck's in the booth for a Super Bowl or World Series. This is big.
yeah,
Their voices lend credibility to what we watched
the
growing
stories
up
he
as
told
sports
too,
fans.
the history of the game. He brought up a
Absolutely.
lot, and I mean, he's worked for an ESPN, Fox, NBC, ABC. He worked for
Right.
the Devils for the longest time,
Right.
so he just nationally and locally, he's done a lot. I mean, my God, 47 years of calling pro hockey. That's pretty incredible. But yeah, I'm gonna miss him. And they were talking about it on the K show today. And Don brought up, and I'm like, oh my God, I hope not. Just in my opinion, nothing against them as people, but Kenny Albert and John Forslund, I can't stand listening to them. It's just, I'm sorry, it's not listenable. Like, I can't I mean, I'm still into the game, but I'm like, I don't want to hear either of them. Like, I would love Brendan Burke. Love it if he called the big time games. But Don thinks because he's still kind of just starting on NBC, but I think he deserves. If you were that good, which he is, and I'm not just saying it because
Right.
he's the Islander broadcaster.
Bro,
National,
I have no dog in this fight. And some of the goals I seen him make in the playoffs, I'm like, yeah, that dude, he needs to,
and especially the late playoff games, like for the West Coast teams, he would do Brendan Burke. I gotta stay up for this.
And you know me, I don't watch West Coast hockey all that often, but I would stay up when I knew Brendan was calling a game. I'm like, this is gonna be good, because there's a certain level of gravitas that comes with a guy like him calling a game. Yes, folks, I just used the word gravitas.
But Doc, thank you for the memories. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the calls you made for memorable Islander goals and other memorable goals for me as a hockey fan. And just thank you, for everything, for what you've done for the game and letting us in, like
Somebody
making us feel like family, like we
yes.
were part of that particular game that day or night. Love you, Doc. You true treasure. You are. I mean, the game of hockey is gonna miss you very badly. And I hope to God they don't have Forslund and Kenny Albert calling like big game sevens and cup finals.
Well, that's happening. So
hopefully they hire somebody else. But we'll see. But congrats, Doc. Enjoy retirement. You deserve it.
Yes, and he's not done. He said he's going to still do some video essays and he's going to do some stuff for the network. So he's not done. You'll still hear from him, but he wants to be around for his wife and his kids.
Understandable. And of course, in these times with the pandemic and the age she's at, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it.
And the wife is up in age too. She's not in the best of health over the last couple years. So
of course, over the past few years, you can tell his role has kind of been, I wouldn't say diminished, but lessened.
Yeah, I mean, you get to a point where you've been doing it for almost 50 years. I mean, God bless him for him to be able to do it for 50 years,
But Doc's
when Vince Scully retired, I kind of felt that empty space. It feels weird not hearing. I think when Mike Breen retires, I probably feel the same way. Being a big Knick fan, being Jesus, you had to ruin it with this comment.
Oh no, well me and Second will celebrate.
When Kane retires, I'm gonna throw a party. The moment Ryan Ruocco calls Yankee games, I will never
And
learn.
I'm not a Yankee fan, but Ruco's awesome at calling Yankee games.
I will undoubtedly not watch the games on mute anymore. Kane makes me watch him on mute because I can't do it. I can't do it.
James,
I can't.
this must be a sad day for you being a Devil fan.
Oh yeah,
feeling it today. How
Yeah.
long did you work with them, and that call he made from the game Stefan was talking about against the game 6 against the Rangers. Oh, we could spend the whole show talking about Doc. We really could. But we got to get into the football. And
real quick, before we get into some substantial football, I got some trade news.
okay.
Two names I want you to keep an eye on in the coming days: Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. Just watch those names in the coming days. Hearing from several different people around, football, that those two names could be on the move. We don't know where Matt Ryan would go, but if I had to guess a spot for Matt Ryan right now, this is gonna sound a little nutty, but San Francisco. San Francisco might be a spot for Matt Ryan at this very point in time.
It's possible.
San Francisco, and one of the teams that I'm going to mention for Julio Jones is going to make you sick, of course, but New England's been checking on him.
Not surprised.
New England's checked on him. Green Bay is also checked in with the Falcons on Julio Jones. And the third team is somewhat interesting, but not really. But they're somewhat interesting because I view them as a playoff team. I don't view them as a full playoff team. But the Arizona Cardinals have checked in on Julio Jones. Imagine Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins. That's nice. That's nice for the young fella out in Arizona. So just two names to watch. I'm not saying they're definitely getting traded because, of course, things can change and Atlanta can get on a winning streak and, things can change. But those are two names that if I'm you, I watch. If I'm, just watching the trade ticker, I watch those names. So
that could be an interesting spot.
Very much so.
Yeah. Yes, goodbye, sir. Very sad day. But we're going to get into football here. Do you want to just get it over with for your sake? And that was an awful – I mean, your boys didn't even show up. I mean – but you expected it, though. You told me on the phone, you're like, yo, we're getting killed tomorrow. Like, because we spoke the day before, you're like, yeah. I could see us getting blown out. Pittsburgh at home.
Yeah.
Banged up. Odell's sick. And Jarvis.
Yeah.
So
Jarvis dealing with the whole line was hurt. I saw it coming. It was set up for us to get annihilated, and it happened. And look, I'm gonna say this, okay? I'm gonna vent some frustrations on the show. Usually, it's his lane to vent about his football team, and I have no kick coming because mine is actually winning for the most part. But you ain't getting a first and second for Sam Darnold. If you get a first and second for Sam Darnold, I would be shocked.
I would do it.
Of course I would do it, but if I'm San Francisco, he's not worth the first or second round pick. Big Dog, honestly speaking, is he worth that?
I'd say
I know you're the Jet fan, but
I'm gonna be totally frank here. I think maybe like because of his value's not high, he keeps getting hurt. I would say like third, maybe fourth. If Darnold was healthy,
I would say more maybe like a 4 or 5. But I could see a third or fourth rounder. just because he's not able to stay on the football field. Like,
That's
I
the only
can't give
reason.
you a first.
But imagine him with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco.
Wow. Yeah.
God, are you kidding?
Yeah. Because he's actually an inventive offensive coordinator that has a playbook.
If he was with a Kyle Shanahan, I've said it many times, a McVay, a Gruden, the kid he'd be winning Super Bowls.
Sorry, but this just goes to show you, Ryan Tannehill is a competent quarterback when he got rid of
Tennessee.
When he got a playbook and a running game. You give him a playbook and a running game, he became a quarterback.
Right, and I know I get, but he has Derrick Henry, which is totally true. But look at him in general. Look at his stats in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And look at his quarterback play when he's not handing off. Him passing him in the pocket.
His QBR over the last, I want to say 16 weeks, his average QBR is like 76.
Yeah.
Average QBR. And as much as we say, and I had an epiphany this weekend, guys. I had an epiphany this weekend, guys.
Chase is garbage.
I missed the boys back home. Listen, man, we love that.
Listen, Zach, man. Please stay safe. Thank you again, man. Thank you.
Yes. Tell all your boys that we said hello and we sent our heartfelt wishes, thank yous, and to keep themselves safe. And we're praying for you guys, man. Thoughts of prayers for everybody that's serving in our armed forces. You guys are the true American heroes. So
yes, thank you to everyone in the military. Absolutely.
Yes. But it just, I don't know, man. I'm baffled.
By what?
I'm baffled by the fact that you hear now that Gase is making the trade calls. He's making the trade call. It's not Joe Douglas.
Does anything shock you anymore with this football team? Because nothing really shocks me. It doesn't.
You can't let Adam Gase make these trade calls, bro.
But they are, because Chris Johnson's a dope. And he thinks he called him an offensive genius and everything else. God, don't make me go on another rant, because
and honestly,
because I pretty much said everything last week.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
man. Thank you.
We are sending a jersey with all our names on it, signed for Nick, because my platoon sergeant is an Islander fan. Wow.
Thank you. That would be
I
awesome.
like that, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Big dog hanging up right on the wall behind you.
Backdrop. Absolutely.
There you go. No, it's just, and then you hear the fathers in the organization that he might promote him. I'm like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me right now?
Greg Williams is going to get fired. I'm calling it. Going to get let go. The father-in-law will be the next. Will be the next defensive coordinator. I'm telling you right now. And I'm telling you now, do not be shocked if Gase is still the head coach next year. Don't be shocked.
Yes. I won't.
He has so much pull in this organization that he could be the coach next year. I don't honestly know how, but it's possible. Now, and I'm not talking politics. It has nothing to do with it. I mean, a little bit. Only because Woody Johnson currently works for Trump. If Trump doesn't get reelected, and again, we're not getting into all that. I'm just saying, then Woody comes back. Then maybe there's a possibility that he fires Gase. You know, now he's been looking from afar, obviously, but I mean, that's the only thing I can see is maybe – I don't see Chris Johnson firing him. I really don't, unless Woody comes back to the States from the UK. And
Can we ask you guys a question? The viewers out there, can we ask you guys this question? Let's ask a hypothetical question,
sure,
right? So I know we say that he probably won't get fired, right? We understand that because obviously we both feel like Chris Johnson's in all over his head. He's in over his head. He doesn't know what he's doing. That's obvious. But what more do you need to see if you're Woody Johnson? Your brother's literally running this organization into the ground. Like, call your brother and be like, "Hey, my guy. As we say in New York, you're go handle that. Go fire him because I'm done with this garbage." Because when you come back, you're gonna have a lot more work to do. You're gonna have a lot more work to do.
yeah.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this for both fan bases in New York. I know that Joe Judge is new on the job. I know that ownership is high on Joe Judge. I know that they like him. I know Giant ownership likes him. But two things need to be brought out here. Number one, if you're hiring a general manager, you're going to hire a general manager that already knows that he's not firing the head coach. That's first off. Second off, you both could be battling for Trevor Lawrence because if the Giants finish 2-14, 3-13, and for some reason the Giants feel like they want to go draft a quarterback, I think it's very possible that the Giants take Trevor Lawrence. Because I don't think that you got to remember, what's his guy didn't inherit Daniel. He inherited Daniel Jones. He didn't draft him, Joe Judge. That's not his guy. So we talk about the Jets needing the QB. The Giants may be in the very same position next year.
They might. But again, I still think you got to give Jones, I think, a little more time.
No, but if you're Joe Judge, I don't got to give him nothing. I didn't draft him. I didn't draft him. I inherited him from a coach who they thought was going to fix him, but I didn't draft him. When you see the word stew as Gay's photo was there.
Yo, when you saw Joe Douglas yesterday in the press box shaking his head and hands in his face looking like that, it's partially on you too, Joe D. It is.
Yeah.
I think he don't want to face the music, but you got it there, buddy.
And I'm gonna say this. Big Dog, give me the platform to say this. To have organizational structure, to be a sound organization, right? So they cut Le'Veon Bell, Big Dog. And notice I'm not yelling because I want to make this point succinct. And I don't want to yell and I don't want to get off track. And I don't want to do any of that. Okay? So I'm going to be as succinct as possible. You cut Le'Veon Bell. You cut him. You said, all right, you gotta go. You cut him for free. Didn't trade him for a pick, nothing. For free, gone, finished, done, over. Wow. You didn't even talk to the media? You don't even talk to the media? You don't even talk to the print writers and tell them this was our decision, this is why we did what we did?
So I guess if you want to just get out of an organization, you just could do it,
So we're not going to talk to the media. We're not going to address the fact that we just cut our running back that we gave $52 million to over 4 years. We're not going to talk to the media about any of this. This is basically what we're saying now. So we're basically saying that it's all right to cut people and it's all right to make drastic organizational decisions. And we're not going to talk to the media?
I'm hearing they're going to do it or may do it after the trade deadline. I don't know what
What good is that? What good is that? I want to hear from you the moment he got cut. I want to hear explanation as to why you cut him.
Gay said it's
Oh, Jesus.
It's the Jets, man. I've been telling you, like, I understand because, again, you're used to being a Yankee fan. Look what your GM and owner did last week. They spoke, for 2 hours straight, right, to media people. The Jets don't do that. They don't.
Aaron Boone, and
Aaron
Brian
Boone
Cashman.
too. Right.
Aaron Boone and Brian Cashman stood at the media at the podium in Yankee Stadium and said, "This failure is on us, and we own it." And I know not every New York team does that because I root for the Knicks. Jim Dolan doesn't talk to the media unless there's a plague going on. A plague. An absolute plague of epic proportions. He won't talk to the media.
The Islanders did after this year, Lou and Barry, so they did it, the owners. But
Right.
the Jets are the Jets. I know that's like oversimplified and
So garbage, man.
there's
That,
gotta be
I love you, but that's
you can't just
garbage.
say the Jets are the Jets or the Mets are the Mets or the Knicks are the Knicks, but it's a fact. That's just the way they run. I know, because you think more like front office mind and like you got to like give your fans something, which I agree, being a Jet fan, you know, I want to hear something. But then again, at the same time, they don't give you nothing. Joe Douglas, too. I'm sorry, I got to go back to him. He was the one that was so offended that New York tabloids were not giving his team enough respect. Are you kidding? Are you kidding right now? What is there to respect with this garbage football team? Nothing. Nothing. So don't expect that. And now, what has he been, Stefan, since that interview on the K Show? I remember that, and I'm sure you heard it too way back in the summer. Quiet.
Right.
He said nothing. Because now he probably feels like a moron.
Right.
Oh, you guys got to respect us. We're better than that. What, really?
And hold on a second. To further this point, you have to respect us. We're better than that. Let's just further this point and say this. Have you paid attention to the roster that you put on this football field at the start of the season? Have you paid attention? Oh, are we serious? You want me to respect you after you put this incompetent roster on the football field? And then this goes back to this too. Look at Eric. Let's take the Cleveland Browns, for example. All right? Because everybody likes to crap on the Cleveland Browns. It's a popular thing to do still. You guys are the epitome of garbage. You guys suck. I hear it every week. All right? But at least when there's an injury, or at least when something happens, or at least when they get blown out like they did yesterday, you know the first thing that Coach Stefanski did? That's on me as a coach. I got to do better. I feel my players.
At least you got that.
You know what? You know what Bacon came out and said yesterday? I played like absolute you-know-what, and the injury was an excuse. I played like garbage. I failed my boys.
And it's sad. I'm sorry to cut you off. The only guy who takes, speaking of quarterbacks, the only guy who takes accountability is Darnold. When he's playing, obviously.
Which is absolutely sad.
I got to play better.
Sad.
It's all on me. Gase does not do that. Douglas does not do that. And no other player on the team does that. Greg Williams don't. What does he do? Blame Gase. What does Gase do? Blame the deep. It's a blame game. Nobody wants to take accountability for nothing except Sam. And the shame of it is he's going to be the one that's out the door. I think.
Thank you.
I love Sam. But
honestly,
Bell is out, and I think Darnold's out.
And what does it say about the organizational philosophy that a 2-year, 3-year quarterback is taking accountability for issues that have nothing to do with him for the most part? What does it say? What does it say? We're gonna get to that game in a second.
What's up, Skip?
What does it say that your 3rd-year quarterback is taking the blame for the majority of this franchise's ineptitude and still continues to do interviews, still continues to have guest spots, still continues to do his job, and yet the coach pulls out of his guest spot and doesn't do his guest spot because your team is getting annihilated every week? What happened, Adam? Where's the leadership there, Adam?
You've noticed that, right? He don't do his guest spot anymore on the radio. Donald still does it when he's hurt. He'll still go on and be a professional. What a joke.
Sad. Speaking of jokes, well, Tampa Bay, as we like to say, well, damn.
Well, goddamn.
I wasn't trying to do that part, but damn, like.
Oh my God! You think Brady was a little mad, a little bit mad?
Oh, Rodgers.
He's an old man. River. He's forgetting. I think he's done.
Rodgers might be the better quarterback. I think we're seeing the end of Brady. This is it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He has a nice, 35 burger sound. He didn't get to 40, so we can't say 40 burger, but 35 burger or 38 burger to be exact.
I had a feeling that was going to happen, that they were going to blow them out.
Well,
although Green Bay, in the beginning, they looked awesome. They were on a roll. You're thinking, wow, all right, could this be a runaway for Green Bay? But
as soon as their tight end got hurt, I forgot the tight end's name, but he got hurt. He came back in though, but Aaron Rodgers, and if Tampa's defense plays like that,
dangeroso. I'm just saying. I hope not, but they're gonna be.
Wow, that was a statement win by the Bucs yesterday. Statement win, 1,000%.
But Brady's such a jerk. He won't shake Nick Foles' hand because he beat him, because he lost to Nick Foles. But when he beats up on Rodgers, he'll go shake his hand. Rush to midfield, ran there, whatever. But he always did that. Brady is sore loser.
That's what Brady's been his entire career, though. Like, we've seen him have moments where he hasn't done the sportsman-like thing. He's destroyed his phone so the NFL can't see the text messages for depleted footballs. You know what I'm saying? He's done things on the football field, and like I said a couple shows ago, why is it that when he wilds out on the sideline, we call it sportsmanship, but the moment somebody else does it,
right,
it's a problem. Such a double standard with the dude. It's sad sometimes seeing how much of a pass he gets for being a jerk. It's kind of like, I know you won 6 Super Bowls, but that shouldn't excuse the fact that your behavior on the football field is abhorrent sometimes.
That's true.
Yes. Speaking of abhorrent and atrocious, the San Francisco 49ers looked like a competent football team yesterday.
I was shocked, and they almost lost in the end. Rams almost came back.
No. If you're San Francisco, you have to literally start looking at Jimmy Garoppolo going, I know you're hurt, and I know the ankle injury is a problem, but is this who he's going to be?
Could be there.
Like, I don't want to be that guy, because obviously you want to see what he does when he's healthy and he has a full complement of weapons, but that roster's built to win right now. And I just can get the sense that if they could get their hands on a Rodgers, or they could get their hands on a Matt Ryan, if they could do that, I think they would.
Imagine Rodgers, and he's from there too. That'd be nuts.
Yeah.
So him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kittle, the tight end, the 2 running backs, Mostard and the other kid, Deebo Samuels. Imagine him and Deebo Samuels with the Kittle as a tight end. San Francisco will be right back to being, an elite football team. But
for sure,
their problems to me, they actually look good defensively last night, which hadn't been the case for a couple weeks. They look pretty pedestrian defensively. But if they're going to continue to look like that defensively, then they definitely have, you have to look at them a little bit differently, even if the offense struggles from time to time. Because I do think the run game is going to keep them in a lot of football games. But I look at Seattle being the best team in that division. Seattle is
Oh yeah.
clearly the best team in that division. And Russ just, Russ just looks like he's just having fun out there, man. The
guy's awesome. But not for nothing in that NFC North, Chicago, man, 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Nicky Foles. That division's gonna be interesting down the stretch.
Mm-hmm.
They keep playing the way they keep playing, Chicago.
Mm-hmm. And that defense is built to make runs to Super Bowl. If they just get decent quarterback play from Nick Foles, their defense is good enough to make life miserable for most teams. So I'm excited to see what the entire NFC picture looks like. First of all, whoever wins the NFC East, like, you kind of feel bad for them. Like, dog, you might have won the division, but
now Zach Ertz is out for 3 to 4 weeks. Kayla's got to be ripping a hair out because they go season.
The running back too. Their main running back got hurt too.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Yeah,
Chiefs are rolling right now, Skip. Chiefs are rolling.
So, this game right here, and they're not even playing all that well, and they got 20 up on the Bills. And that's because it's raining like cats and dogs in Buffalo. But that loss last week might have woke them up. Like I've been saying, the loss last week. Yeah, and that's where the Le'Veon Bell addition is going to be gigantic.
Oh, massive.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Jets in a couple weeks.
Oh, don't be surprised if he has a game, like 2 touchdowns.
They're definitely scoring 50 in the Jets, I'm telling you now. At least like 50-0 score, 50-3, something like that.
There, you got to put him 50 on the Jets? Yo. Big dog. Wow. 50 on the Jets.
I said 45-3 yesterday, but they scored 24. Well, we didn't score nothing, so we still got out.
Yo, Tua looked good in his limited time yesterday. I know it was against the Jets.
He completed. So
I know it was against the Jets, but damn.
Me and you both were saying it. Watch out for Miami in the next couple of years. They look
right.
Like they really do.
They're building something down there, man. I like the coach. You've always said you are a fan of Flores.
Yes. And that division, I tell you what, is going to be competitive. It's not a one-team race. And now, I still think New England's the class of the division, and they win it this year, which, by the way, them losing to Denver, that was kind of shocking. But then again, they haven't had much practice time, and Cam coming back.
Right.
But they'll be good. Bill will have that team going. And
I give it like another week, and then they're going to get rolling again. They're going to get rolling again. They're going to find their rhythm. They're going to find their footing, and then Cam's going to get back to being Cam Newton. The team, I got to tell you, is shocking me so far with how – I wouldn't say how bad they've been, but – I don't see much from the Ravens, and I know they won these last couple weeks, but I haven't seen much from the Ravens. They almost lost to Philly yesterday.
You're
and then the game before that,
right? It's not just me.
Yeah, it's just something about Baltimore. The defense just doesn't seem as dominant as they've been in past years. And I have a thing with a run first quarterback. When you have a quarterback that runs first and doesn't make the throws first, like he wants to use his legs, I think that's also a disadvantage too for a quarterback in the playoffs, because all the great defensive minds, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, all those dudes, they look for your weaknesses to shut those things down. So if he can't use his legs, how effective is his arm? And I'm not trying to say that he's not a decent passer, but
Right.
he's not a Patrick Mahomes or an Aaron Rodgers or even a Tom Brady at this stage in his career who can still get the ball in between the numbers. Like I don't see that for Lamar. And you've been saying this for a while, Big Dog. You're not a believer in the Ravens. Has anything over the past couple weeks like reinforced that or changed your thinking, or you still kind of in that same boat?
I still don't believe it. And to what you were saying, like you almost lost to the Eagles yesterday. You almost, like couple games this year really haven't been all that convincing. And then if you blow a team out, it's like the Bengals or somebody not great. So again, I got to see Lamar win a playoff game, and I got to see now. Listen, I'm not discrediting Josh Allen. The guy's been bowling well so far this year. But I still got to see more out of him, and I got to see him win a playoff game. Then I might give it to you like, all right, now maybe I'm starting to believe in Buffalo. Not that Buffalo is good already, but there's still something about them I'm like, eh.
The roster's missing something to me. The roster's missing that other dynamic wide receiver other than Stephon Diggs. If you gave them a Julio Jones, if you gave Buffalo a Julio Jones to put next to Stephon Diggs, then I take Buffalo a little bit more. Then I have a little bit more confidence that Buffalo might be able to win a playoff game. Because Julio, you could throw it anywhere in his vicinity, and even at this age, he's still going to go out there and get it.
Right. The big teams for me in the AFC, I want to see if you agree or disagree. I mean, Chiefs, I think they're a Super Bowl team. They have it. New England, I know you're not high on them, but I am simply because of Belichick. And I think Cam will get back on track.
Cam will get back on track. I just don't see them beating Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is at a crazy level because of that offense.
I don't see it.
Defense is pretty good.
That defense is better than pretty good. That defense is scary good.
When Big Ben's healthy, they're an elite team. And not for nothing, Tennessee, man. Tennessee's still undefeated. They're
5-0, bro. 5-0. You can't argue with results.
No,
can't argue with it. Right now, I would say it's Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Those are my three teams in the AFC.
Top three.
Right. Yeah. And the NFC, Seattle,
Tampa,
and Green Bay. But Green Bay just got the doors blown off yesterday.
Would be my three.
Chicago's not a bad pick. My question with Chicago is are they going to be able to score enough with these other quarterbacks? I mean, I haven't seen Nick Foles put up 40 in a game. Like, you're going to have to put up at least 30 points in a game to beat these elite level quarterbacks. Now, I'm not saying he can't do it. I just haven't seen him do it. So if he does it, then I'll probably feel a lot different about whatever it is that they got going on. But it feels interesting to me that, we thought Pittsburgh was done because Big Ben is old.
I was saying it.
Big Ben's like, yo, listen, I ain't done yet. And the kid Clayton they got, the kid that they drafted that nobody's heard of from Canada.
The Canadian lad, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. It's a joke. Eric Ebron at tight end. Yo, why Pittsburgh always gets these ill tight ends? Ebron, Heath Miller. I'm like, yo, fam. That's the first game since he's been out that I really miss Nick Chubb. That I was like, damn, I miss you, Nick.
That's a massive loss for you guys. Hopefully, he comes back healthy.
I miss Nick Chubb because Nick Chubb has this. He has this escapability. He's able to break tackles, get in the open field. I miss the dude, man, and I hope he's able to come back healthy and doesn't have no injuries towards the end of the season. But my expectations for the Cleveland Browns are simple: make the playoffs, finish over 500. That's it. I'm not even asking you to win a playoff game. Just make the playoffs and finish over 500. That's it. That's it. That'll be it. And what does it say about Joe Burrow going into Indianapolis yesterday against that defense? I know they lost,
Putting up
but he did
points.
work on that defense. He did work to that defense. Joe Burrow,
Pretty good.
the kid with the Chargers, Herbert, Burrow.
That kid's a beast. And they
Come on
questioned
now.
Miami, but again, you only saw one game at it Tua so far, and he barely played it yesterday. But
Yo, Fitzpatrick's been good for them. They need to stop crapping on the old dude like he ain't putting in work.
man, like Fitzy's legit.
And Miami's defense not bad. Cameron Wolf, they hung with Seattle for the most
Listen, one
part, right?
space left. Look at them. I mean, I'm not saying they're great or nothing, but they're competitive. I think they're good. I would say they're good.
Listen,
They're above average.
they're better than the garbage you're seeing with Adam Gase right now.
Oh yeah, and nobody wants to leave Miami now. They actually want to stay.
I mean, I wouldn't want to leave either. Beautiful, beautiful beaches, tax free.
Well, you know,
I wouldn't want to
meant
leave either.
on
It's a
the
beautiful
field,
city. I'm just saying,
No, those are definitely factors. Absolutely. Wow.
Well,
Goddamn. Yeah, this game is good. This game is good, although it looks like the Chiefs are going to blow them out.
If Kansas City about to score again, if Kansas City scores it,
what do you make of this late game at 8:15? Cardinals Dallas.
I think it's shootout.
Yeah, better than this game because this game right now is kind of looking atrocious.
Because both defenses.
Yeah, and the weather's ain't.
And you're in Texas, so the dome's probably gonna be closed because it's at night.
Yeah.
Ooh, we barely made that.
And it is good. Can't say that for the Jets this year, but anyway.
Yeah, and this poor soul's dying for the Jets to be good.
I am.
He's dying. Yo.
Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals, I agree, yeah.
I could see it, Skip.
I think both quarterbacks put up at least 350.
Kyler Murray and Andy Dalton should be an interesting matchup. Really should.
Dallas's defense couldn't stop a nosebleed right now. How you give up 34 points to the Giants? Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but come on now. Dallas's defense couldn't stop me and you right now if you were my quarterback.
Nah.
They're that bad. And then they're activating Van Der Esch. So everybody, but that we're getting healthy at the right time. Are you really? Are you really? You forgot that you got safeties that are repugnant back there?
Repugnant?
Yo. Yeah, it's just, and it sucks, man, because Dak was about to get. Hey. Bah.
Speaking of repugnant Peter Rosenberg, which, by the way, I've been feeling bad for the dude lately. The guy's been getting killed on that show. I feel for the dude. He deserves more respect than he's been getting.
I mean, he does. He's a competent football mind. He can hold his weight there. He's not bad in the NBA. And I love baseball, but I'm allowed to say it. Unless you love the sport, nobody's watching. I'm allowed to say that because I love the sport.
He hopped on the Nationals bandwagon last year, but I mean, it is what it is.
You see, wife's from Washington, wife's from the area. You know what I mean?
He really has no dog to fight.
Yeah, Chevy Chase, Maryland, which I thought was Chubby Chase when I first heard of it, not Chevy Chase.
Although
I don't know why.
A fan, but now isn't anymore. I guess because they're so repugnant, but I don't know.
Nah, they're gonna, well, damn.
Interesting scoreline, Skip.
Nah, give the Orioles a couple years.
You might
Give
hop
them a couple years.
back. You might be seeing the hat with the O. He might not be rocking the O's hat.
Not might. You see Rosenberg back in Oriole gear real soon. Watch. Good young pitching. That offense is gonna be good. They're all young.
And his Washington football team almost beat the Giants yesterday if they didn't make that mistake at the end of the game.
Yo, all right. You're the football enthusiast on the show. Although I'm starting to get there.
You're back.
Starting to get there. How do you not kick that field goal, fam? Send it to overtime. You're playing against the Giants D.
I hear you. They could have, and then if they won the toss, that might have been it. But Riverboat Ron, that's why he's got that nickname.
Nah, you got to kick the field goal there, dog.
And can I ask you something? And, you know, I think I love Juan Rivera. I feel for him right now for what he's going through and all that stuff. And I think he's an accomplished coach. I mean, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he's been to one. And
Right.
I still don't. Now I follow football obviously, but Washington football team I don't pay that close attention to. But from what I followed and his press conferences, how I know we have a young team and we're looking to improve year by year and see how I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to, which of course that's what you are. Of course, coaching in sports or being a professional athlete, but.
Right.
I think giving up on, and I want to ask you, I think he gave up on Haskins way too early, and he keeps saying we want to win, but you're not seeing it from Kyle Allen. Alex Smith, we really don't know what he is yet. And you could say the same for Haskins, but I think we should have gave him a longer time, no? Or, what's your feeling on Juan Rivera and his handling of the team right now? And again, we don't want to criticize him too much, but just with that QB decision, I'm curious what your thoughts, because I thought they gave up on the kid way too early. And you're going to see growing pains. You're not going to win this year. I mean, although the division is absolutely hard.
So you never know.
Maybe that is what thinking. But again, what do you think? I'm curious.
I think they gave up on him too quick.
To the viewers out there, what do you think? Did Juan Rivera quit on Haskins too early?
I think they gave up on him too quick. I'll stipulate that. However, I also think that when you're in Juan Rivera's shoes and you know the situation and you know where you are in life and you know how fleeting things are, and football is probably his only escape during the week. So he probably don't want to look back with any regrets and go, damn, I should have went for it. If they lose in overtime, damn, I should have went for it. I should have made this play.
His personal life, he wants to try and win now. He wants to try and at least make up the playoffs.
Right. Here's the thing, though. But if you're Juan Rivera, and I understand you get the name Riverboat Ron, and I understand that. It just shows you how bad Washington's draft process is. If you give up on a guy with a 60-plus QBR and all the athletic tools that he has, it just shows that they never trusted Haskins to begin with. Haskins was never going to be the guy to lead them to a Super Bowl. So, and it shows. And it's clear that Juan Rivera never trusted Dwayne Haskins to be his quarterback. Was it quick? Yeah. Because most coaches would have said, hey, man, listen, I know we're not going to win right now. I understand what the situation is. I understand that even if we wanted to make a move and even if we wanted to see how things work, I can understand that. It just feels like they rushed it. They rushed it and they didn't let things play all the way out. And this is what happens as a result of that. Now, does it say, do we know what Dwayne Haskins is yet? No, we don't. Is he going to be the quarterback in the future? Probably not. I'd stipulate that. However, you're not gonna get any worse than Alex Smith and the other kid, Kyle Allen. I don't understand the allure of making a move that quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a football game. We got a
Just as
football
you're
game,
saying that,
ladies
is
and
they
gentlemen.
looking good?
We got a
Touchdown
football
Buffalo.
game. We got a game, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen. Was he down? Oh, yeah. Oh. Wait a minute. Was he down?
I
Hold
counted.
on, man.
I'm doing this because the screen. I think he was in right before
Yeah, he's in there. Touchdown.
the
Oh,
Buffalo.
crap. The Buffalo Bills. Oh, Beasley got the gimp kneecap.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. This got interesting here.
A little bit.
But if Kansas City scores here, as the French like to say, it's au revoir.
It's over. Yeah, it is over. The Kansas City Chiefs will win these games.
Boy.
No doubt about it.
All right, we there.
I do a pretty good. I do a decent French accent.
Zip wink.
So do you there. Eh?
Yeah.
Before we head out in a little bit, let's get into this NLCS because my God, LA Dodgers.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I'm gonna tell you.
Dodgers.
I'm going with Tampa.
I got Dodgers.
Would I be shocked if the Dodgers won? No. First of all, the ball that Kike Hernandez and Cody Bellinger hit, yeah, both those balls.
God damn. I mean,
well, pulverized. Okay, pulverized. Those balls were absolutely demolished. What are you doing? If you're the pitcher, what are you doing? Like, what? And then Atlanta, I love you. Atlanta. I love you. But Dodgers and shit, nah. I think I'm the only Yankee fan that's rooting for Tampa. I think. I just want to see the small market win the chip.
I hear you. I'd love to see the Rays win it too. I just think the Dodgers. I think they're gonna do it.
I mean, I just want to see.
If the Dodgers win, that'd be cool. I'd like to see them.
I love LA.
I do. That's why I'd love to see the Dodgers win. But if the small market won, they beat the Yankees, that'd be cool. That'd be a cool story.
It is literally monsooning in Orchard Park right now. Look at that. Mm-hmm. It just there's something about the Rays. They tug on the heartstrings. I'm going Rays I'm going Rays in 7.
And you've been on the Rays for since day one. I'll give you that. You've been saying Rays for 90 years already. You've been watch out for the Rays and
the whole year.
Could they do it? We'll see. They just might.
Yeah, and they're deep. They got
for the love of God. Mm-hmm.
Oh, first of all, that catch by Mookie Betts yesterday.
Save him.
I'm out.
Oh, God.
I'm out. So, all right, 6:26 left. Before we get out of here, can I get your football expertise? Because I'm curious on something.
Sure.
There's 6 minutes and 26 seconds left. I would be doing exactly what they're doing now. Run the football.
Yes.
If you're Buffalo, when do you start using your timeouts?
Because my laptop's blocked. Okay, 6:15 left. 23-17. And how many timeouts they got? So I stopped doing this, breaking my neck.
3 or tree.
I'd see if you could stop them here. But if it's getting really bad, you might have to start using them. All right, maybe they're not.
Wait, did he catch that? Did he catch that? Hold on. Hey, yeah, he caught it.
Yeah, I see what you mean, man. They looked a little. I don't know.
Oh, fumble! Wow!
Buffalo ball.
Yo!
Wow.
Holy shit! Was he down? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Knee was down. He was down. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
That would have been great for the show. Some drama late here before we sign off.
Hold on a minute.
And not for nothing, and I usually say this every year. I don't know if you notice it too when you watch games, but why don't defenders should be trying to punch the ball more, knocking the ball out
all the time.
I mean, he stripped it there, so that was a good play by the lineman.
He tried to rip it out. Like, give me that. You don't want that football.
Just hit it out or hit it from underneath, like uppercut punch.
Exactly. Get it out. Who was the guy that used to do that? What was his name? Peanut Tillman used to play for the Bears.
We grew up watching him. He's an older guy.
Charles Tillman, Peanut Tillman. He used to whip out. Yeah, he used to do the punch. Give me that. You don't want that football.
They drowned. Imagine Bill's Mafia was in the building for this game. Damn.
Damn you, Veto.
Because I love watching Bill's home game just to hear that crowd. Oh, my God.
Yo, did he catch this football? Oh, that looked like they hit the ground. Oh, yeah, he caught it.
Yeah, he caught it.
Wow, what a game.
And he made the football move. It didn't move when it hit the ground, which is the dumbest move.
I'm sorry, can somebody define what a football move is for me?
And it's science. If you hit the ground hard enough, the ball's going to move. I hate the fact that they take away touchdowns when the ball. Like, really, how much can the guy possibly try and control it?
Buffalo, if you can get another stop here, Buffalo, we might be in for one here. Holy bada
Buffalo.
Text your friends here. Tell them we might have a classic on our hands.
You got a head count how many people are watching at the moment?
So far. 3.
Oh, I see Ange in the back.
I thought they picked that off.
Oh, me too.
Yo!
Uh-oh, they got... You got to stop Patty here. We might have a thriller here.
Oh, holding.
On the offense? Yeah. Uh-oh. Coming back. Buffalo might sneak a win here.
You got to be careful with Patty boy.
Yeah, he could convert like a 3rd and 50.
Oh, wow, what a throw! There it is. There's the ball game.
Yeah, Chiefs win.
Patty Bonds. Yo, Patty Bonds is like, oh, you. Yeah,
man.
Watch this.
Yo, they gave him
time
now.
What a throw.
Great throw. Great prestige.
On the run to
Yeah,
beautiful.
here. It's over.
Wrap it up.
Yo, wide open. Look at that. Right in the middle of the
90.
field.
Got 90 years. 90 years. Oh,
Okay, he's gonna wait for you to finish.
come on, Buffalo.
I put your soda in the freezer.
Jesus. Yo, look. How you playing that soft? Big dog. You watch football. For the love of God, how are you playing that soft?
That's insane.
Yo.
I was just thinking of that with that Don LaGreca. I've been watching football for 40 years. 40. The worst offensive line I've ever seen. Well, not in that case, because the way they protected Patty, I mean, goddamn.
Mahomes got all year. He could have ordered a sandwich, called his fiance. Would have been like, yo, make me something good for dinner. Because we be home. I'll be home late. Yo, come on, Buffalo. Get a stop here.
I want to see some drama late.
Factoids, fam.
Pick
Factoids.
six.
Good tackle there, Buffalo. Get the stop. Yo,
Nope.
if Patty throws a pick, Patrick. Yo, what a catch by Stephon Diggs. Wow. Yo, I just noticed Kelsey got both the touchdowns in this game.
Yep.
Travis Kelsey. Oh, he's like, kneecap?
That does have to hurt when the helmet goes right directly into the kneecap. Oh. This
Kneecap? Yeah, ball game. Patty Bonds. There he is. Wrap it up.
Wow, look at this dude. Smart, man. He's got such great awareness in the pocket.
And you know what? You know why he's also smart too? He recognizes time, game, and score.
Yep.
Why make a crazy throw when I could just run for the first of all, that's a holding. All right, I'll play along. Kneecap.
See, but he has that sense though. When he's got to run, when he needs to run, he knows when to run.
Right.
Pass, even if it's in like triple coverage, but he still makes the throw. He can do it.
Yeah, no more time for
function. He's got the confidence, the brash to do it.
Yeah, and he don't care. He'll make any throw at any spot.
He's like a Brett Favre. Remember, Favre used to just sling it in anyway.
Oh.
I mean, he'd make the throw, but then here and there he'd throw a pick. But he didn't care. Be like, I'll throw the next one, like triple coverage, or gooch. And he'll throw a touchdown.
Yeah, Favre didn't. Favre, as we like to say, he didn't give up. Oh, tackle, by the way. Yo, it must be so much fun playing in the rain. It's pouring, but
I did
Buffalo
that back in the day.
Play for neck piece.
The snow too was a blast.
His neck. Neck piece. Necko.
Neckage.
Fire up. Look at that.
They're so methodical when they move the ball too.
Oh yeah. They give me like Patriot flashbacks, man. It's just oh. Yeah, how does it feel to be Patrick Mahomes? You in your third year, you already got a chip, you just got engaged, and your contract is for like $1 gajillion.
Yo, he is living the life right now. Living it up.
Word up. About to get married. Like life is
Not that the baby too.
word, like yeah, like life is extra
Looking like
gooch
you're
right
going to
now.
another Super Bowl again.
Yeah, because nobody's beating them in the AFC. Nah. Pittsburgh, I like y'all, fam, but
Patty and the gang, and
nah. Y'all don't want none of this Kansas City smoke right here. Yeah, nah. Anyway, big dog, yo, this was fun.
it was.
See you guys again on Thursday. We were hoping for some fireworks, but it didn't happen. No fireworks.
Yeah.
All right. And I'll holler at you. We'll speak, I'll call you during the Monday night or tonight. All right. But thank you guys for tuning in, and this was fun, and enjoy the rest of the football.
Yes.
Good night.
Yes.
Mm.
Later.